Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. As you can see today, I'm going handheld because, as I mentioned in previous videos, I'm very fortunate to live in Los Angeles, which means I get to go to some events that some of you around the country don't get to go to. In this case, I'm at the Los Angeles Auto Show. So we're gonna check out some of next year's cars and hopefully see some stuff that you haven't seen yet. Of course, you might see I'm also here with Mike, PXDN Ninja. He's here with me, so don't forget to check out his channel because he's gonna have some different footage than I have. But let's go ahead and walk around and see what we can find. So funny thing about this car, we were walking by, and it's a Hyundai. Usually I wouldn't pay 2 looks at it, but I didn't notice the seat lights up right there with the logo. I thought that was kind of funny. This year at the Los Angeles Auto Show, they seem to be focusing a little bit on EV vehicles, especially with it becoming a bigger deal. This here is the Imperium. Now the interesting thing about this car is it's very technologically savvy. I'll show you the inside in a second, but they have it set up where this car actually comes with its own Wi-Fi and editing software. So if you ever want to edit your videos, you can actually do it from the passenger seat of this car. Now apparently the interesting thing I was just told by Mike about this car is it is an open source car. So you can actually reprogram the dash and everything. The piece I showed you under the hood is the hard drive for the gaming system. So you can play just about any video game on this. So as you can see, there's a screen for the driver, that's the dash. The center screen is for the driver to control, but the far right screen is actually for the passenger to play video games or do the video editing that I said before. And as you can see, they even have an Oculus for the passenger in case they get bored on long road trips. Now this I wasn't expecting to see. With Rivian that just launched its stock this week and made a big splash, here we have something called the Terra E, which looks like it's a new company. This is a fully electric pickup truck. Looks like it would do pretty well on just about any job site. I'll have to take a look to see what the towing capacity is.
Like a mix between a Ford F-150 and a Dodge Ram.
Yeah. So for an EV truck, I was very happy to see it actually has a normal dash. I'm really kind of tired of just seeing computer screens on these electric vehicles. So they actually made this one feel like a truck, look like a truck. Let's see if they give us any information on this card here. So it doesn't give us the towing capacity, which I'm a little disappointed in. There's the price, which is actually fairly reasonable. So if you guys are looking for an electric pickup truck, maybe you guys should give this one a closer look. So not only do you have the auto show, which shows all the new stuff, if you come down to the bottom, you get to see all the stuff that I'm more or less into, the modifies and the exotics. Oh, now this is a car I really want to find and do a restore of. This is like the 63 or 64 Lincoln Continental, famous for the suicide doors, also the same car that Kennedy was assassinated in. Although this obviously isn't the same car, but it's the same build. And of course nowadays you can't go anywhere without running into a Bmw Supra. Now I typically don't go for exotics, but I am a fan of the Aston Martin. Unfortunately we got all of these ropes set up, which kind of makes it harder to see the car. See, even the cops want a convertible in Los Angeles. Man, when I was a kid, these things were not nearly this cool. Check it out, it's got the doors, it's got the lights. Oh heck, it's even got a light up dash. Way cooler toys nowadays. Of course, you guys might recognize this logo, Daily Driven Exotics. Very well known YouTube channel. These guys tend to get pulled over a lot, which is kind of funny. Now there are some of you out there that like to travel in luxury. You go a nice little land yacht. Now the funny thing is, if you check out the grill here, you see the cutout, because now when you turn the car off, the emblem goes inside because too many people are stealing it. Team up between Mercedes and McLaren. Gotta admit, those wheels are not too bad. I kind of like them. I was gonna make a comment about finding another GTR, but this is a GTS. Now, I'm not exactly a Mercedes or BMW guy, so I don't know a lot about them. But you've probably seen my short where I parked my GTR next to a version of this that was a GTR. So this was kind of cool. Take a look at this carbon fiber. Like it's black, and when light hits a certain way, it sheens red. That's actually really cool. I haven't seen that before. Interesting thing to do to a C7. And here we are, what you guys all probably wanted to see, the new stuff. Oh wow, check that out. Fisker's actually got a thing here. Now, Fisker, if you guys aren't aware, is they started to produce an electric car quite a while ago. And it's a really good looking car. It's kind of patterned after a Panther. It had solar cells on top of it. But it really didn't catch on, I think because it was just too expensive and too ahead of its time. But it looks like Fisker is now making an effort to make a comeback. Looks like they're doing these SUV styles now. Kind of nice of Toyota not only to bring out their new line of cars, but also one of their NAS trucks. Alright, so I'm at the Toyota show here. They're trying to debut some stuff. They just debuted the new Corolla. And it sounds like something I'd be totally excited about, so I found out it's a freaking SUV. No, Toyota, no. Here we've got a TRD edition of, I believe this is the Tundra, right? It's got some carbon fiber accents. Now, I'm not a truck guy at all, as you guys know, but I think it's a pretty good looking truck. Now we have the new Tundra, not the TRD edition, so a little bit less exciting. Now, I'm not a four-door type guy. I've always respected the Camry for what it is and its sales. But I gotta admit, I am digging this TRD version of the Camry. I have seen them on the road before this year, so it's not the first time I've seen it, but get a nice up close look at it. I do kind of like the fact they've taken a family car and given it a more aggressive look. Here's the upgraded TRD interior for the Camry. Okay, so you know me being around the Toyota area, I was going to show the Supra. As those of you who have been part of the channel know, I've owned two Mark IVs, and I've been severely disappointed with Toyota on how they've handled the relaunch of the Supra. But I've got to admit, I'm kind of happy because it looks like they're finally listening to the fans. They've given us the Targa top back and the classic style Supra rear spoiler. I thought this was originally just a SEMA build, but I did look at the plaque, and this is going to be factory optioned, which is kind of a nice thing to hear. So here's the new 8.6. Looks like they got a fresh redesign on it. The profile looks the same. Looks like the front bumper is really what got the redesign. You know, I gotta say, I do like these 8.6. I've always kind of liked them. I just wish that they would do something to give it a little bit more power. I have driven these, and they just feel so anemic unless you strap on like a supercharger or something. But still hoping like maybe they'll release the TRD edition with forced air. or maybe even Subaru will release a STI version of the BRZ. All right, guys, so I know what you're thinking, just another Camry here. But this was something that was very interesting in the back that I find very interesting about the Camry that I didn't know until today. And I thought this was the funniest thing in the world. So I saw this Camry and look at that. I'm sorry, I just think that's absolutely hilarious, but it also seems like it's a smart thing. If this is the #1 sold car in America, might as well save the shipping and have it assembled here in the US. So here's something cool from Toyota also. This is a fully electric SUV that they're releasing. I gotta admit, I think it looks good. I really do. I think they designed it well. It's got proper proportions. It's not too outlandish. Unfortunately, I can't see the interior right now. I would love to. But for an SUV, ooh, you know what? I gotta take that back a little bit. Seeing this front end, yeah, it's missing something. It just looks like a big old piece of plastic in your face. But who knows? This might still be a prototype. They might still do some editing to it before it hits the streets. But either way, I think this might be a good electric SUV. All right, so here is a Toyota Mirai, which is a hydrogen-powered car. Now, for those of you that don't know, hydrogen is what's called a null. There's no net gain in energy. The amount of energy it takes to get the hydrogen is the exact same amount of energy that the hydrogen gives off. So it's not really a feasible fuel source long term. This is obviously a stunt just to look more green. That aside though, take a look at this blue. I think it's a very good looking blue, but I also think it's a blue I talked about before. You guys might agree, you might not, but to me, this looks like the same blue that was on the 400Z that I did the video on last month. So the cool thing is, they have a very primo edition of the 240Z. Now, there was not a lot of 240Zs made compared to the 260 and the 280. And this sucker looks like showroom condition. Now, of course, they have that right by the other 400Z. Now this one probably looks familiar to you guys. This is the same spec I debuted on my channel last month. I still love that color. Now, we did just see the Mirai blue that's on the Toyota Mirai. Tell me in the comment section, do you think this is the same blue? Because it looks darn close. So this is kind of cool. They have a cool little cutaway here so you can actually see the engine that will be in the 400Z. For those of you that were basically styling me for calling it the 400Z, I'm going to do that to keep it from being confusing. But this kind of gives you an idea of what the engine looks like outside of the car. It's kind of interesting that the intercoolers actually sit on top of the engine. Made it to a manual gearbox. I get to see the yellow one in person. I gotta admit, from the pictures, I thought it looked a lot more of a bright yellow. Seeing it in person is almost kind of a cream colored yellow. So that was I was not expecting that. Oh, and it's got yellow color on the interior. Much better than that overkill blue on the blue Nissan Z.
That would look decent in that.
So as you all know, I am a Miata fan. I've had about 3 of them in my lifetime. So I gotta check out the new Miata. Now, this one here looks like it's a hardtop edition. I'm gonna be honest, I prefer the convertible. I just think it looks better, and a Miata should be a convertible. But, you know, like I said, I'm always gonna be a fan of Miata. It's nice to see that they've returned to just a small car, which the NC was just getting too big, so it's just kind of nice to see they're getting back to what the Miata should be. You know, I gotta admit, the interior on this looks pretty good, and even they have the dash like the old NA Miatas. I gotta try this car out. Oh yeah, this car feels good. I know you guys laugh at me for having a GTR and still loving the Miata. I still love the Miata. I don't care what you say. I would totally drive one of these and not even think twice. Okay, so this is kind of funny. We're in the Honda area and they got their fleet out here. There's no Civic and there's definitely no Civic R. Why didn't they bring that out for us to check out? I mean, this is all just their daily commuter stuff, which yes, that's what Honda mainly is. but it would have been nice to take a look at the new Honda Civic, or at least the Type R. Okay, so we're in another area here. It's called VinFast. I have not heard of this car yet. I have no idea what it is. I'm going to assume it's electric, but I don't know for sure, so we're going to go ahead and take a look around and see what it is. Looks like a fairly good-sized SUV. So are these fully electric vehicles? Is that what this is?
I'm just security for them. I don't know anything about the vehicles.
Copy that.
All I know is they're made and built in Vietnam, and they're coming here soon.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so the little information we got is this is a vehicle that's made in Vietnam, and they're going to be coming to the US soon. All right, so I'm not the hugest Range Rover fan, but this one actually looks pretty good. In fact, it looks like kind of what Jeeps used to look like back in the day. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit blockier, but I think it's a pretty good looking vehicle. Also of note is this is a two-door. Along with liking Aston Martins, you know, there's just something also about a Jag, especially with these F-types. I just think they're a good looking car. I've just never driven one. Now there's a reason why there is a crowd here. Looks like there's an open spot over there. Because you just can't seem to miss the new Z06 Corvette. Looks like I'm seeing full carbon fiber wheels. Something to be said when a car comes with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 stock. Seeing carbon fiber canards, carbon fiber front splitter. All right, so typically I don't stand in line for much when it comes to the auto show, but they're gonna let us sit in the C8. I gotta take this advantage, so I'll be showing you the inside of the new C8 Corvette. You definitely sit deeper in this car than I expected. I still think it's funny that this is more reminiscent of the Supra than the Toyota.
Yeah. It's one of the things I really like about it, though.
But I'm not seeing a manual.
I think they come in for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't pull a door handle, you push this button right here to open the door. This car looked good in orange. It looks even better in silver. You know, this one's got aluminum rims instead of carbon fiber like was on the orange. So it looks like even if you get a Z06, there's different packages you can get. And of course the interior, that is a lot of red. And look, it already has leaves in the front grille. It's a true car. Check out those carbon ceramic rotors. They are absolutely huge. And this one doesn't have the wing that the orange one had either, which just goes to show, even with wanting a Z06, there are different packages. And unlike the regular Corvette, they have carbon fiber on their dash, even though I do think that is just a little too much red. I remember when I had my 2010. Oh, this is an LT1 though. Why do they have an LT1 RS? Wasn't expecting that. So this is interesting. I was a little confused because back when I had my 2010 Camaro, the RS package was the 6-cylinder and the SS was the 8. But I guess now the RS package is just basically decoration, and an RS can now be a V8. So I guess they've made some changes to how they label their cars. First ever Silverado ZR2. Ford is gonna have to bring their A game if they're gonna compete with this. One thing I've noticed though at this auto show, every truck I've seen has been a 4-door, which means it's got a shorter bed. So I don't know if that's just where the trend is going or just pure luck. Mike PXD at Ninja tells me that that is just the current trend. I know for me personally, I'd much rather have a 2-door truck because you have a larger bed, which means you can haul more stuff, but I'm also not much of a truck buyer. It is a good looking truck though. All right, so I was walking by and I saw this, and I gotta admit, I took a look and I'm like, you know what? I do not hate this, whatever it is. It looks like it's a Santa Cruz. Kind of this cool little pickup truck SUV. It reminds me of the Avalanche that was put out, but looks a little bit better.
There we go.
So these are actually a 60-40 split, and if you
Okay.
it's up like that. There's extra storage. Yeah, and this plastic
Looks like-
bin is also removable. It's in there. I think there's 6 screws, but you can take it out with a Phillips screwdriver.
It looks like that's where you keep like your jack.
Yes, that's in the jack. That's also removable if you don't want to keep it there.
Okay.
Extras under seat storage.
But you were saying that the back seats can fold down or fold up somehow and you can slide more stuff through?
That is
Or is there a wall there?
fold down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just this whole area becomes storage.
Okay. So we all know that next year, in theory, Tesla's going to be releasing a fully electric semi-truck. But it looks like Hyundai isn't that far behind. Although I'm seeing on the front it says fuel cell. Ah, okay, so this is a hydrogen-powered truck. It's not an electric truck. So like I said before, that's an interesting choice because hydrogen isn't null. There's no net gain in energy, so I don't know why they decided to go this route. All right, so it looks like we have another electric vehicle here, the Mullen. This is actually, in my opinion, is one of the better looking ones I've seen of the day. It looks like it's kind of a SUV-ish, but not quite as big. I like that front end, it had a really good design to it. See what that interior looks like. Oh, that's kind of nice. A lot of little ambient light throughout it. Looks like a good passenger car. Looks like they're actually going to give the driver a little dash there. That way it's not like the Tesla. Yeah. This actually is for electrics. This is actually one of my favorites of the show. And I didn't catch this on the first time. If you look here in the back, even the back passengers get their own little screen for entertainment. Yeah, I gotta say that for me, this is the winner of the electric so far. So this was kind of different. This is a new Hyundai electric vehicle. It looks like it's called the Zevin. Obviously a prototype. There's no door handles, no steering wheel. So Lexus here, the RCF, looks like they're embracing tuner culture a little bit. They're giving you a carbon fiber spoiler, full carbon fiber hood that's vented. Let's see what they've got underneath the hood. Looks like it's a V8 with 270 or 472 horsepower. Full carbon fiber roof. Interior's rocking Alcantara red interior with red carbon fiber accents. Oh. Full digital dash. Actually, it feels really good in here, real comfy. It's actually really comfy. The only disappointment is the automatic transmission.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to one of the reps about it. All of Lexus has gotten rid of automatic, or gotten rid of manual, which has been for a bit,
But it's got the flappy paddles.
Yep.
All right, so I saw this from the distance. I thought it looked pretty cool. This is a Lexus Lc 500, but it's a convertible, and it has like nice little bits of carbon fiber right here over the tonneau cover, lip, and side runners, carbon fiber hood. But we come to find out this is just a custom build from Toyota tires, so this is not going to be a production car. So thanks for the tease, Lexus. Here we are in the Galpin Hall, full collection of Porsche. Now, as I've said before, I'm not the hugest fan of Porsche, but I do like these older style of Porsches, back when they were kind of more reminiscent of VW, because they do share a lot of the same parts for the engines. Pretty good looking Lotus. We got 2 bathtubs in the back, a toilet in the front, and 2 superchargers sitting over the block. You don't see Panteras very often, so definitely whenever you see one, it's worth taking a moment to appreciate. Ironically enough, there are usually a couple that do show up to Supercar Sunday. So this is interesting, I wasn't expecting to see, but this is a concept car that Carroll Shelby was working on before he died to bring the Shelby Cobra back to the streets. It looks like it was supposed to be due out sometime in 2004, but as we know, that never actually happened. New for 2022, we have the new KN. Or for those of you that know, it's actually supposed to be Kia. I don't know who designed their current logo, but apparently was not fully thinking. Oh, it's an electric. All I gotta say is this is what, just no. Taking a Shelby Cobra and making it a battery-powered car, just no. It was flashing me back to Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum. They were so concerned about whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think about whether or not they should. This should not be, no, just straight up, just no. Although it is kind of cool, they do have over here the body, so it's not actually Cobras. It is a full carbon fiber body, so this car's probably got to weigh absolutely nothing. But still, for me, it's a no. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because right now part of Rivian's Cell project is that they're making vans, particularly cargo vans, that Amazon wants to use to make deliveries. However, it looks like Edison here already has a cargo van that they've designed and made. So I gotta be honest, the more I'm at this show, the more I'm thinking Rivian is in trouble, because not only do they have this cargo van here, if you go to the other side, it's the same size as a cargo van and pickup truck. So even though Rivian is getting all the attention for their pickup truck and cargo van, looks like they might be a little late to the party. Okay, so now this is some real interesting news. You know, Kia is what it is, Kia, but this car right here has got some interesting technology in it that it can recharge its entire battery in 18 minutes. That is unheard of. And I just talked to the rep who isn't allowed to be videotaped for YouTube, but she's saying that the range on this car is around 300 to 325 miles. This is what's going to happen with the electric vehicles. We're now getting to the point where if you can recharge your car in about the same time it takes to fill up on gasoline, the internal combustion engine is going to be killed. But this is getting darn close. And of course here we got the Kia Stinger, the one car that keeps the Kia relevant for those of us who are more into the automotive community for power and experience. So here again is that car that can charge in 18 minutes. I guess this is their more premium model with all of their extras and added goodies. I gotta say, for an EV vehicle though, it's not horrible looking. And here we are for you Mopar fans. And of course the word that you guys are always looking for. Something called a jailbreak, huh? Look at this. Carbon fiber in the hood. They just painted over it black but left a little bit visible. That was a nice call. And then check out the way they designed the aerial on the back of this. Always be iconic, always be legendary. Ford GT. Look at where those exhaust tips are, out the middle of the back bumper. All right, so here's the truck that we've all been waiting for. This is the one that we've been curious about, the return of the Ford Lightning, which is coming in electric format. Now, this was interesting to me because I thought, you know, with the original Ford Lightning being their supercharged truck, that people would want that. But ironically enough, the fans of the truck went, you know what, the name Lightning goes with the electric platform. And so we're all ready for this. Pretty much, like I said, Rivian's got something going with the electric pickup truck, but I think as soon as this comes out, Rivian's dead. This is just gonna completely steal everything. This is a proper pickup truck, fully electric, with the legacy of the Lightning badge. Oh, look at that interior. It actually looks like, it doesn't look like a standard electric. I mean, you do have that big iPad in the middle of the center of the dash there, but it looks like it actually has a normal dash right there, the speedometer in front. Looks like a normal truck. I'm not a truck guy, but this is the thing that needed to be made for the EV community. It's amazing. They finally got it right. So I spoke to the agent who, once again, I can't just interview him for the channel, and he let me know the starting price on this car is going to be high 30s, low 40s. That's absolutely insane. 300-mile range, 10,000-pound towing capacity. This thing is a game changer. Now, it also has this cool thing for an extra $1,600. You can get this adapter where you can plug the truck into your house. And if your house runs out of electricity, there's a power outage, the truck will actually power your house for about a day to a day and a half. This is the truck that needed to happen. I don't know how long it would take to recharge the truck in between, but this is the return of the Ford Lightning. And let's be honest, they did it right. Okay, I gotta look at this and just say, wait, what am I seeing right here? It's a Mustang hatchback. What? I mean, why? And two, who thought of this? So this is part of the Mustang line. This is the Mach-E X. As you can see, it's not an SUV because it's not really all that tall. This is a true four-door hatch Mustang. Looks like they decided to go ahead and put some solar cells on the roof, which is a good call. But I'm still stuck between this conflict of like, should this have been done? And do we like it? I don't know, I'm torn. Unfortunately, I put these bikes on the back, so you really can't get a good look at the back. But yeah, it's got the tail lights there, styled like a Mustang. Front end is styled like a Mustang. So I don't know what Ford's doing here, but I don't know how I feel about it. So we saw the new 86 at the other Toyota location. Here is the sister car, the BRZ. Once again, the BRZ, in my opinion, is just a better looking version of the car. Funny, I just noticed it's got Vortec generators like on the Evo. I wonder how that happened. It's got Vortec generators like on the Evo. But I've got to say, looking at, this is just a better looking version of the Toyota 86. If I was going to consider one of the two, it'd definitely be the Subaru version. And there it was. That was the LA Auto Show. As you can see, I'm already back at home. I didn't exactly finish up while I was there, but I did show everything that I thought that was of interest at the LA Auto Show in this video. I do want to send an apology because I did mean to host this last week, but because of Thanksgiving and the holidays, I got a little tied up and I didn't get it up in time. So I am sorry that it took me so long to get this video up. I do hope you enjoyed it though. If you did, go hit that thumbs up button to let me know. It does help the channel out a lot. If you'd like to see more automotive, particularly GTR content in the future, go and subscribe to my channel. You can now follow me on all forms of social media, which include Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, and I'll leave links to all those in the description down below. If you'd like to support the channel, I do have the JD Archer shop. If you go to jdarcher.bigcartel.com, you can see a limited selection of hats, t-shirts, and hoodies that I've designed. If you have any questions or you feel there's anything I missed at the LA Auto Show, go and post in the comment section down below. I will respond to you. I thank you all for watching, and until next time, forget everything else, focus on the finish line.